Evil Squid Comics Podcast. We are part of the Collector's Maze Network.
Don.
Scott.
Andrew.
I haven't read all of that either.
All right, Rook. Exodus. This is Ghost Machine, Volume 1.
Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok.
Yeah, Jason
Fabok.
I say Fabok.
Fabok.
I say
It could be
Fabok.
either, because
It
that's
could
not
be-
like I've met him and he hasn't
Could
told
be
me how his name is
Fabok.
pronounced.
Fabok.
So this is not part of the same universe that Redcoat and Joe...
Right, it's a different one.
Well, it's an entire different planet.
Yeah, so anyway. It's
Yeah.
very sci-fi-ish.
It is a sci-fi type thing, but from a universe perspective, yeah, in this realm, Earth has been abused and gone through its own Armageddon, whatever else, and so they've gone to another planet and kind of terraformed it. But it turns out whatever the hell terraforming device was being used on this other planet has now stopped working, and so the planet's kind of not being as inhabitable as it once was. And so that's kind of where you're picking up, where this gentleman Rook is trying to actually get off planet. He's been stuck there. A lot of people left, hence
The rich people.
That's right. Hence the exodus from the planet. They were all leaving this planet, supposedly supposed to come back with either resources or whatever else, or pick up the rest, but they never did.
They never came back.
And so it's been like 3 years, I think, or something like this, since
Yeah.
the exodus happened. And so now you're picking up and you're finding out what this world is like and the inhabitants and how they're trying to live. And the cool twist on this one a little bit is the fact that they have these special helmets that allow them to talk to the wildlife, different wildlife in particular. Rook, in his case, talks to birds. There's another one that talks to like grizzly bears, another one that talks to dogs and style like that. And it's just kind of like it's kind of like a Mad Max feel. I like that, with, taking machinery and doing what you can with it. But you've also got this aspect of people, in different helmets with the guns and, just trying to pretty much rule this world that they can, either that or try to getting off of it or being, their own separatist, in a way. But it has that feel to me.
Yeah, no, totally. And yeah, there's one guy who I don't think he was like there's like a name for these guys. They're called like keepers or something. Like they sign
Man, nice.
they sign like one type of animal to each one of them, and they on there. But there's one guy who kind of goes rogue, and he's collecting the other helmets, killing the guys, and taking their helmets, become like the greatest, whatever.
That's right.
Keeper. And so that's kind of the story. Is Rook's trying to get off.
There can only be one.
But then this guy's kind of trying to take over, so he's kind of torn between, do I stay and help and try to make this world good, or do I get the hell out when I can, type of thing. And so he's kind of your conflicted, like, hero type of thing, And so that's the base. Just what's really, the art is pretty freaking cool by Fabok. It's really well
Fabok
done.
is amazing. He did that 3 Jokers.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just crazy good.
Yeah.
I've read like the first 1 or 2 of this, I think, but I
Yeah.
haven't gone past that. So
Yeah.
a lot of what you're saying, like the setup, like it's coming back to
You're
me.
coming back to you,
Yeah.
and you kind of recognize it a little bit.
Yeah. And I remember that guy. He was that guy you showed me, like the pig
Yeah.
guy or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Isn't he the one that's going around trying to kill?
Yeah.
He's the bad
Well,
guy.
in
No,
a
he's
way,
actually the
like the grizzly bear one, or
Okay.
tying the bears.
I think the
That's
twist
fine.
But you've
is...
got kind of like the girl who's like controlling the wolves,
Right.
and she's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah.
I think the twist is, I think they said the guy who's trying to take it all over wasn't actually one of them. He was like, he's stealing the helmet or whatever.
But some of these splash pages of kind of like the machinery and things that are going through are really cool. There's some excellent designs that are going on. Like I said, I get a real Mad Max feel with this.
Yeah.
And but with its own little
Twist.
sci-fi twist, I
Yeah.
guess, on it. So, but
I
I would definitely agree that the art is definitely very solid.
Yeah, and
on
I mean, I
this.
think story-wise it was pretty good. Like, I liked it. It was enjoyable. It was a solid read. Not super quick read, but not super long, or didn't drag out. Really.
And that's where I want to give Jeff Johns some credit, because I think he also does the Geiger, doesn't he? Or
Yeah, he
whatever?
does. He's good at pacing.
Yes, exactly right. He can slow it down and do this backstory, but he shows nice visuals with it. Get maybe some wordy spots where there's a couple bubbles, but then you've got almost entire pages, or where you have multiple panels on a page where there's in this
Very
case there's
little dialogue.
a couple of words, where he's letting the artist really try to tell the story that he wants to tell. So I would agree that It sometimes, you know, with the pacing, I get a little bit of an up and down with him sometimes because he will sit here and get, you know, 2 or 3 pages where I think he gets a little wordy. But then I'm going to have another 6 where it's going to be very brief on words and just letting the pictures tell the tale.
Yeah.
So I overall I do like it, and you're right. I feel like it's not taking too long, you know, or whatever, overextending what it's doing.
Yeah, I don't know if Fabok used to work for Top Cow. He definitely has a Mark Silvestri, you know, Michael Turner kind of.
I could see that a little bit.
Kind of David Finch kind of look to his stuff, really. I think, you know, super detailed, a lot of just really good stuff. I enjoyed it.
Right.
I don't know how long it takes him to draw these pages. It's kind of
well,
crazy.
look at it, the amount of panels
much
in some cases
detail.
too.
In the
how
background.
long he's been around. I know, like
He's been around a while.
Really hit with that 3 Jokers, right?
Yeah, but he did a
Like,
bunch. I think he did Batman before that for a
He
while.
probably did.
But yeah, he's done a lot of stuff for DC.
But it was like it's kind of like I don't know if he like stepped up his game or whatever, you know, with 3 Jokers or whatever. But I mean, I remember everybody was like, "Oh my God, did you see issue or the art? Blah blah blah." You know.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys who continues to kind of grow and get better.